talking today about protein powder because most of us are starting to supplement, trying to get more protein in our day. And that's because most of the health experts nowadays are telling you in order to build or maintain muscle, you do need a lot of protein to take care of that. It is also great for weight loss because protein makes you feel full. It's a satiety food, so it takes a lot longer to break down chicken or steak than it does, let's say, a piece of cheese. Okay, so let's say you're going with protein powder. So this is just a nice little quick blurb on being mindful of the brand that you're buying. And I'm not recommending any of them. I'm just telling you what I've heard on Max Lugavere's The Genius Life. He had on an expert from Kian. This is a protein powder company. And this guy's a scientist and really understands how it goes. Okay, so I just want to make sure you know. I'm trying to get that number 469 if you want to listen to the whole podcast. Oliver Amdrup Chambry. That's a mouthful. Anyway, so one of the first things he's telling us, which I think is important, is whether you're buying an animal or a plant protein, be mindful of the contaminants that it may contain. And that's just so sad to think about in today's life. But think of this, whatever the animal's eating in the ground, it's absorbed, and then you take that animal protein and you're getting what that animal ate, okay? And when you're getting plant protein, you're getting some plant that's coming directly from the ground. So you can get things like lead, BPA, arsenic, cadmium. These are heavy metals that your body certainly does not want. And it's not going to taste any different. You're not going to know. So that is an important factor in choosing your powders. And not to be mean to the plant protein, but you get generally more of the heavy metals in plant protein supplements than you do animal protein by nature of that other phase, right? Animal eats something, then digested, then you get it, versus the plant directly to the powder with minimal processing, of course. All right, so you want some company that's doing third-party testing for sure, and I'm sure you can hit that Perplexity or Claude or get one of those AIs to tell you what has been shown that is one of the best. Now, here's the thing. Whey protein is what you get from dairy, and a lot of people are intolerant of that. So, but what you can do, whether it be whey, or which is dairy, or egg, you can get a concentrate that may not upset your system. So that's something to know if you go, boy, I'd really like to load some protein, but I can't have eggs or I can't have dairy. Maybe you can have the protein powder. One of the best things to note in your protein powders is that they're very efficient, and a lot of the experts like whey as the number one in terms of animal protein, and in terms of plant protein, soy. And there's a whole thing, of course, about is soy beneficial? For sure, get an organic source of soy protein, and soy is not the devil that you think it is. But anyway, if you are in a vegan state, then the soy protein is great, followed by pea protein. So, but something this man said that I thought was so important is, as you get older, we don't break down and absorb our protein as much as we did when we were younger. Tragedy, right? One more thing that we have to be sad about, that we're older. Okay, so rather than doing that, a lot of people are doing a mimicking fast where they're eating just twice a day or even once. That's pretty hard to get all your nutrients and your protein in anyway. But as you get older, you're not breaking down these nutrients. So his suggestion is eating up to 6 times a day. Obviously not in the great volume that you would as if you were eating just 2 meals. But I think that's super important for us to know, because we're just not getting, so you might be eating 3 eggs, but you're certainly not getting the nutrients for all 3 eggs. So one of the things that Oliver Amdrup Chambry recommended is, if you're over, let's say 50, you're in your 60s, you might try an essential amino acid supplement. Okay, why? Well, they're part of the whole food protein that the body just doesn't synthesize. So when you take them in, then you are assisting in the synthesizing of protein, and then you will then get more protein. And again, you could take this maybe a couple times a day, which would maybe be helpful. He even recommends you could take this supplement with a meal, which would even totally boost your protein consumption. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. He tells us that an essential amino acid is 3 times more effective than protein powder for building muscle or burning fat. And again, that's as we age. Sorry, but that's where I'm at right now. So that's why we're talking about it. Okay, so the bottom line is on this is if you're choosing an extra supplement, whether it be a protein powder or an essential amino acid, you definitely want to look for third-party testing. You want to go for great quality, obviously. Look for something that's giving you probably 10 to 20 grams per serving. And if you're older, you want to go consume your eating occasions at least 4, 5, 6 times a day to make sure you're getting the nutrients you need when you're consuming these types of things. Because if you're spending a lot of time working at this, why not get it right? That's how I go. All right. So I am going to be talking more in a later podcast about protein and muscle, but this one was really just more about the supplemental things that we buy. So caveat there.